Hello everyone, good evening. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know once you are able to see. Okay. Okay, fine. So in last session, we have learned about the specificity of the selectors, isn't it? So anyone of you have any question related to that? Anyone?
No.
Yeah, sorry, I was speaking on mute. Yeah, so I missed one topic in specificity. So that we will see today. Then we'll start with the next topic, that is values and units. Okay. So here we have, you can see the same structure. In the previous session, we have seen no same structure. We have one unordered list. In that we have title, attribute, ID, we have list, class, we have list as well as list one. Okay. So simply, if I'm going to write like this, UL color as red. Okay. And then I'm writing here it as list color green. Okay, list color green. So which one is going to work in this case?
List is a
L-
class.
yeah, that is going to work. So here, as you can see, here we have list in green color. Fine. I'm going to change this one as lime so it will be visible. Huh. Now if I want to override this with this selector, what I have to use here?
ID.
ID we can use. Okay, fine. So ID is also list, isn't it? So now the color for these lists will be red.
Right.
Okay, fine. Now I have to override this ID with this selector. What we can do now?
Important, we can use specific.
Important.
Okay, important we can use here. It will work. Now I have to override this one with this. What we have to do then?
Inline style.
Okay, inline we can use, but I'm not going to use inline here. Then
Oh,
what we can do then?
Directly target the child.
No, directly we can target, but here we have to target with the same selector, no? So we have to use the same selector. We have to target UL only, not LI. UL only we have to target and we have to override. That is the case then.
then
Do you think that we can override now? This one with this? Can we override?
mm,
What if I'm going to add here also important then?
mm, Then this ID.
What is the specificity right now? If you will see important, and here we have ID. Here we have important, but here we have class. So which one is greater now?
ID. ID.
I, first one. Okay. So now it is going to override and the color will be red, isn't it? Now I have to override this one, first one with the second one.
Sir, only LI.
No,
UL
that's what I'm
UL
saying. I don't have
UL
to target directly LI. We have to target UL only. By using that only I have to override. Don't go with the child one. What else we can do to override this one?
UL
UI dot
UL
dot list.
dot class.
Even if we will add UL is one element.
UL dot list.
So UL dot list, even though if it will not work, because if you are going to add one element, the specificity will be less than ID only.
Only.
So it is not going to work. Then
Then we can use the
combinator
also.
only we have to use. So what else we can use here? After this, ID can we use?
Yes.
Yes.
Now it will work.
Yes, it will work.
Okay, fine. Now I have to override this one with the first one. Again, we can add here, no, list.
Dot list, sir.
Dot list.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So which one is going to work now?
The red.
First one here or second one?
The first one.
See carefully.
Both are same.
So both are same means which one will work?
Green. I mean
Green.
line.
Because the specificity value will be same. So the last one is going to work. So still it is not working. So what else we can do? We have another class also, no? Dot list one. Now first one is working. What if I have to override this one also? Here we can use, no, dot list one. It is working, no? It is working, no?
Yes.
Last
Yes.
one. Now if I want to override the first one, second one with the first one, what we can do? You have an option here that you can add here UL also. Now it will work, the first one. Okay, first one also you can override now by using what?
UL.
UL.
UL. So second one is going to work because specificity value is same. So
Same.
last one will. Sorry, I got dropped off. Okay, fine. So are you able to see my screen, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So as you can see here in the first selector, we have one element, one ID, and two class, one important. In the last one also, one element, two class, one ID, and one important. So specificity value is same, isn't it? So last
Yes.
one is going to win. So that's why here we have lime color. Now if I'll ask you to override the second one with the first, what you will do? Is there any possibilities that we can override now without using inline? Even though if you will use
LI.
inline, here we have important, that will not work. No, don't use LI. By using UL only you have to. What else we can do? Can we override?
No.
In an interview, they might ask you like this, means they can give you a question like this, means you are done with the element, you are done with the ID, you are done with the both of the classes, isn't it? You cannot add additional class here, isn't it, to override. So you have this structure and that you have to override. What you will do in that case? It is
The connector is dropped. Voice is open, sir.
So yours is not coming.
I guess you're having a network issue.
sorry again, today I'm facing some network issue. So this topic only I was saying I missed on that day, and this is sometime like even one more thing you need to remember. This is a specificity hack. So in real time, we're not supposed to use important to override something. Okay. But even though if you are using and you're really smart, like you know how actually selector works, you can override anything, whatever, even though if they're using important, you can override. Okay. So in real time, we're not supposed to use important. Okay. Right now, which one is going to work? Second one only, because we have removed important from first one also and the second one also, isn't it? So now if I'll ask you to override the second one with the first, what we can do? Yeah, why we not supposed to use? Because see, if you are using somewhere important and I'm trying to override that, like if I know the rule, like how to override, that is easy for me. But most of the developer don't know like how to override some, like if you have any important property, how to override that. Okay, that's why we not supposed to use that. Firstly, don't override something. Just go with the specificity hack, okay, which I'm going to show you here. So let's say here we have one UL, one ID, one list. Again, here we have, means this is a class and this one is also class. Now, if I'll ask you to override the second one, can we use like this? Again, dot list, can we use? If I will use here list, how many classes are there now?
3 classes, sir.
How many ID
1 ID,
and how many elements?
1 element here.
So which one is greater right now? If you will check the specificity value, first one or second?
First
So-
one.
First
First
one. So first one is going to work here. So I can write ID or class multiple time. Okay. If you want to override something, you can write like list dot like this, and you will be able to override this. So how many times class you are using here? So instead of going with this one, okay, I can use here UL hash list, and then what we can do, instead of writing multiple time this one, can we write simply here this? So which one is greater now? If you will check the specificity value,
Second one.
second one, because here we have two IDs, one element. Okay, and here we have just one ID, and after
Correct.
that
5 classes.
we have 5
Classes.
classes. So the last one is greater, so it is going to override that. Okay, so here you can override any selector by using this specificity hack without using important. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, but is it recommended?
Yes, yes, we do use in real time.
Okay.
Okay, so it is recommended, that's why it is supported here, and you can see we are not using important. So class and ID you can use multiple time. Okay, fine. Any question? If
No,
no,
sir.
then we'll, okay. So now we are going to start with the another topic here. We have values.
Sir, is it possible? Can you go to the like HTML file?
HTML5 file you are asking me to go.
Yeah, HTML, the HTML specific, like a specific, the first one.
Oh, 1 second, 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Where you want me to go? To that CSS selector.
HTML.
Where is that specificity? No?
The last one, whatever we are working on right now. Yeah. That one. Okay. Right, thanks. Got it.
Done?
Yep, got it. Thanks.
Okay. So we have created one file. Now again, I'm going to create here values underscore units dot CSS. Okay. So here we have these two files. I'm going to create now new HTML skeleton. We'll save this one. Okay. And title I'm going to give here as values and units. Okay. We'll take paragraphs. This is okay. We are going to save this one and we'll remove all these things. Here we have a specificity and this one select. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to add that CSS file here. Yeah, so like how many paragraphs here we have? 7
Seven.
paragraphs. Okay. So now we are going to learn about units. Okay. Which we are going to use in real time, mostly for the like font size we use, like pixels we use, you have seen width, height. Okay. So for these things we use pixels. So what are the other units that we can use? So we will see. So in values and units, okay, we have 3 different types of units. two only we have, but in that we have many categories. Last one is a functional notation, that is a separate one. So the first one is, which I'm going to explain you, that is distance units. Okay. Distance units. Okay. Here we have distance units. So in distance units, we have two different types. Okay. The first one is absolute unit. Another one is relative. So we'll see first one, absolute units. In distance units, we have absolute units. And after that distance unit, we have quantities. Okay. In that also we have categories. So one by one, we will see. So in absolute units, okay, here we have absolute means fixed unit. Here, whatever we are going to use, that is not relative to any like element. Here we are going to use fixed one. So in absolute unit, let's say here we have paragraph. Okay. And background color, I'm going to take it as gold. For all the paragraphs here, we have gold color. So I'll target first one only. So what we can do, nth child we can use first. Okay. So here we have background color gold. Fine. So right now you can see as paragraph is a block level element. So it is occupying, okay, or you can say it is taking the 100% width of its parent. So if you will see here, the parent of paragraph is body, and body is also a block level element. So here you can see we have like 100% width as per that only for paragraph also. Okay. So what if I want to specify here that width should be for this paragraph, let's say 100 pixels only. Okay. Or 100 only. So if I'm writing, excuse me, simply width as 100, what is going to happen here in the output? Anyone can tell me?
No change.
No change.
No,
Yes.
So
the
here,
width of
why no change?
It's will taking 100%.
No, it's not percent. How actually it will understand whether it is percent or pixel? So that's why here we have number, but we do not have any units. Okay. To measure anything, we need units, isn't it? So here we are talking about width. Okay. So width will be here the least fixed unit is like a smallest unit in CSS that you can use is pixel. Pixel is the one dot of the screen. Okay. So here we have to mention that we are going to use 100 pixels width. Okay. So now if I'll save here, see this one is 100 pixel. If I'll mention here simply that width should be 50 pixels only. So see, because there is no much space on the right hand side, so that's why this paragraph is wrapping in the new line that you can see. So you can mention here the first unit in distance unit. In distance unit we have absolute units, and in absolute we have pixels. So every time it will be fixed. If you are saying width is 100 pixels, means it is fixed for every device. It is going to take how much? 100 pixels only. Okay, so this is the smallest unit that you can use here in this category, and that is pixel. Have you heard of any other units that we can use?
Percentage.
Percentage, VW. So VW is not a like absolute unit. Okay, that is a different thing here. We'll see that one also. Okay, so we are going to target second one. And again, here we have width as 100 pixels only. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it as 100 pt. Do you know what is pt? It is point. Okay, so point will be like it is a little greater than, you can say, pixel. Okay, so if I'm giving 1 point, so how much it will be, you know, it will be 1.328 pixels. So that I'm going to show you here. So here we have width for the second paragraph. So I'm going to target the second one. Okay, so right like this you can debug. See, as I'm doing in real time also, you have to do the same thing. So I'm going to target the second para. See, second para is highlighted. So here we have the first one. This is the content. See, first one is width and second one is height. So what is width here? 1.328. So that is in pixel. Okay, into 72. That is height of that paragraph. 72 is the paragraph height. So here 1 point is nothing but 1.328 pixels. So as you can see here, point is a bit, you can say, greater than pixels. So now if I'm going to put here 10 points, so as you can see here, we have 13.328. Okay, so how point is working now, you can see this is the second unit in absolute unit under distance unit section that you can see. Fine. Now we have the third one. I'm going to target the third child, that is third para. Okay, so we have seen the smallest one, pixel, then point. Third one here we have, that is picas. So you can use PC. So 1 PC is equal to, okay, 16 pixels. Okay, 16 pixels. So I'm using for third para, you can see here we have third para. That is how much it is. I have selected third paragraph that you can see here. And what is width right now? 16 pixels. Okay. If I'll use 10 picas, how much it will be? 160 pixels. So here we have 160 pixels. Got it? So this is the third one that you can use. Now fourth one here we have fourth child. I'm going to target here. Fourth one. Okay. Now we have here Q. So do you know what is Q? Q is nothing but quarter millimeter. Means 1/4 millimeter, you can say. Okay. So if I'm saying simply 40 Q is nothing but how much in millimeter it will be? As I said, 1/4. So it will be 10 millimeter, no? Isn't it? 40 Q is nothing but, as I said, Q is nothing but quarter millimeter. So it will be 10 millimeter. So in pixels, how much it is, that you can see here, that is 37.781. Okay. So Q is nothing but quarter millimeter. This is the fourth one. I'm going to target the fifth paragraph. Okay. We'll save this one. And now, as we have seen quarter millimeter, like that we have millimeter now. So 10 millimeter is equal to 40 quarter millimeter. So width should be same for these two, as you can see here. For the fourth and fifth one is same, because as I said, this one is 1/4 of 1 millimeter, as you can see. So 10 mm is equal to 40 quarter millimeter. Is that clear, everyone? Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to target the sixth one. Okay. So we have seen here pixels, then point, then picas, then quarter millimeter, then millimeter. Now we have centimeter. So 10 centimeter, sorry, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter, isn't it? Is that
Yes.
correct? So the fourth, fifth, and sixth should be same, because here we have 1 centimeter is equal to 10 mm, and 10 mm is nothing but 40 quarter millimeter, isn't it? We have the same result or not? So you can use cm also. Okay, fine. Now the seventh one we are going to target. Okay, we can use inch also. So see, 1 inch that you can see, I think will be 96 pixels. So see, we have 96 pixels. Okay. So these are the 7 absolute units. Okay. Absolute units under distance units we have, but the last four you can see inch, centimeter, millimeter, and quarter millimeter are not recommended for the web development. Then you will ask why they have given these 4 units, where we will use it. So let's say if you have any page, okay, you have created and you want to take a printout in the same dimension. Okay, so for print, I'm saying for print, if you have any document, then you can go with these units if you're going to print something. Okay, so for print document, you can use these units, last 4 units. And for the web development, we use first 3, pixels, point, or picas. Okay, but in these 3 also, mostly we use which one? First one, pixels only. Okay, so last 4 is not recommended for web development. So these are for the prints. Okay, and first 3 is recommended for web development. Okay, is that clear, everyone? All these 7 absolute units.
Yep.
One more thing here you need to remember. Yes.
Last 4 ones, is it mandatory to use for printing purpose, sir?
Which one?
Last 4, you told me.
Yeah, just for the print purpose we use. If you want the fixed layout, that it should be like in like 10 inch, 30 inch, okay, or in 100 centimeter, okay, like that you can go with that.
Is it mandatory, sir? For printing
Best,
purpose?
yeah.
Okay.
Because in pixels you won't be able to mention for the print exact thing. Okay, it depends on the resolution also.
Okay. Thank you.
One more thing here you need to remember, whatever units we have seen here, units are case insensitive. Okay, fine. So even if you are going to use this one like this, it will work. 1 second. Here a prettier is not allowing me to use that one. Okay, but it will work. Okay, if we'll save like this, or what we can do is instead of this, see, it is working, no? So in caps also you can use these units, but this is not recommended. Okay. Till here, everyone, this absolute unit is clear.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So now the second thing under distance units we have, that is relative units. Okay. So in relative units, relative units we will see. So when I'm saying relative units, so relative to what? Okay. Relative to,
Parent.
no. So we have different categories again for the relative units. So the first one will be relative to, okay, relative to fonts. In caps, I'm going to write this one, fonts. So we'll see this one, how it will work. Okay. Do you know what is the default? One second. Font size of a web page?
16 pixels.
16 pixels, exactly. So in fonts module, I have already explained about that, isn't it? That is 16 pixels. Fine. So now I'm going to change here the structure a bit. Okay. Div dot div one. Inside that we have one paragraph. Okay. This is para of div one. So inside this div again, we have div two. The structure is clear for everyone. First div, inside we have one paragraph and another div. Again, inside another div, we have one paragraph and another div. Inside that, again, we have one paragraph. Okay. Clear? Div 1, div 2, div 3. And inside every div, we have one paragraph. Okay. So I'm going to save this one. So here we have 3 paragraphs. Okay. Now, simply I'm going to write here. Okay. Background color. So I was saying here, like I'm going to target the paragraph first. Okay. One sec. Okay. And then font size here, by default font size is what? 16 pixels, no?
16.
So I'm going to mention here it as 16 pixels. Fine. Okay. And width, now I'm going to add here it as, let's say 1 m. Okay, so m is the first relative unit, okay, which is dependent on what we are learning here relative to.
Fonts.
Yeah, so it will be always relevant to this one. It will be dependent on font size. So 1 m means, it is going to take 100% whatever the value is there, no, of the font size, it is going to take that one. So what is 1 m now? 16 pixels. Okay. If I'm writing 1 m, that will be equal to, if you have any font size property in that particular selector, so it will check the font size property, whatever value you have, that will be equal to 1 m. Okay, so 1 m is nothing but, here you have, yes,
ये अब चलते से 9:30 तक ऐसे चलता रहते 9:30 तक
guys,
ऐसे
could you
चलता
please put your mic on mute? Okay, so here you can see what is the width right now?
16
16.
16 pixels. So what if I'm going to mention here 2 m's? How much it will be?
32.
32.
It's twice of whatever value we have for the font size. So how much it will be?
32.
32.
32 pixels it should be. As I said, this will be relevant to font size only. So what is the width here right now? 32. Okay. Now tell me one thing. I'm going to make this one 1 m. And font size I'm going to apply here 32 pixels. So what is the value of 1 m now?
32
32
pixels.
pixels.
Why?
It's
It's relevant
font
to
size is
font
equal
size.
to
Yes, always it will check the font size property. So whatever value we have here for the font size, that will be the 1 m for that particular element. Okay. So right now, if I'm going to save this, so here what is 1 m? 1 m is nothing but 32 pixels, because here we have the font base font size is 32 pixels. So if I'm going to use here 2 m's, so what is the width now for this particular element?
64.
64. That you can see here. We have 64, no? Fine. So simply, if I'm going to write here 1 m, okay, and here also 1 m, what will be the value now for this 1 m?
16.
16 only.
Why 16?
Yes, sir. 16 defaults. Font
Default
size.
font size is
Default.
Default font size for this paragraph is 16?
Yes.
No. Here for paragraph, we do not have 16. By default, 16 pixels is for the body. No, for body also not 16 pixels. By default, the root element is,
HTML.
so for HTML, it will be 16 pixels. So what is happening, here, when I'm trying to add 1 m here, so it will check, do we have font size property? Yes, we have, but I'm using EM. So EM will be always relevant to the font size property. So here it is not declared. So it will check for the div. So do we have M for the div? No. Means font size we do not have for div. It will go for the body. Do we have font size for the body? No. So where it will go? For HTML. And by default, if you remember which element we have learnt, will be there root element, and there we have root is equivalent to HTML only. So font size here we have 16 pixels. Okay. So 1em is nothing but 16 pixels. So that's why you are able to see here 16. If I'll make this one as 5em, what is the width right now for this paragraph? So here the base font is 16. So 16 it will take. 1em is nothing but 16 exactly. So 1em is nothing but it will check its root font size. So here we have what? Because right now the parent, if you will check here, we have the body and after that we have HTML element. We do not have any font size property for its immediate parent that you can see here for this div. Okay. Isn't it? I will show you that. So here what we have now 1em is nothing but 16 pixels and width, if I'm using 5em, it will be 80. So as you can see here, we have 80 pixels. Now tell me if I'm going to make this one as a base font size 32 pixels. So what will be the font size here if I'm writing 1em?
32.
32 pixels, because here we have base font size 32. So 1em is nothing but how much it is? 32.
32.
Okay. So again, it will be
160.
160 exactly. So that you can see here, we have 160. Okay. Is that clear for everyone? No. Okay, fine. I'm going to make this one as a default. How much it is? 16 pixels. Fine. Now I'm going to target here. What is the first div? Class name is div1, isn't it? And what is the second div? Is div2. And then we have div3. 3 divs are there or not? You'll see a structure. So div1, div2, and div3, isn't it? So now I'm going to apply here background color again, gold only. We'll copy, paste here. Okay, saved. Fine. So we have 3 divs. Okay. Now tell me one thing. Instead of this, what we can do is we'll take red. Instead of green, we'll take lime, so it will be visible. And indigo. Okay, here we have 3 different colors. Okay, 3 different colors. Font sizes, as you can see here, we have how much?
16.
16.
16 pixels.
Fine. So now tell me if I'm going to apply here width 5em. What will be the width for the first div?
80 pixels.
80 pixels. For which one? For which one I have applied?
Div1.
So why it is working for second and third?
Because all
That was parent. right?
that is
Yeah, because here the first div is the parent of second as well as third.
third.
Yes.
So it is occupying, this is a block level element. So it is occupying 100% width of its parent. Okay, that's why it is happening. Fine. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, for first div, okay, for first div, I'm going to use here font size. Font size, let's say, what is the root font size here? 16 pixels, no? So I'm going to use here 2M. So 2M is how much now?
22.
32 pixels. So 32 pixels for which element? For div 1.
Div 1.
Okay. So 32 into 5, it will be
60.
80.
160.
160. Okay. I'm going to save this one. So if you will see here, for this paragraph, width is how much? 160. And font size is how much?
32.
32. Now tell me, if I'm going to use here font size 1M, how much it will be?
16.
32,
32.
because parent of div 1.
It will be 32, no? Because now what is the value here? 2M means 2 into 16 is 32, no? So it will check the 100% width, whatever value you have here for its parent is how much it is right now?
32.
32. So if I'm going to use here 2M, how much it will be now?
64.
64. So base font size for the second one is how much now?
64. Oh,
Beans.
64, isn't it? Is that clear? Font size you can see here in computed, show all. One second. Font size is how much? You can see is 64, no? Because what we are using, whatever the font size of its parent here for the second div, what is the font size of the parent? 32, no?
32.
So use twice of it. So how much it will be? 64. Now same thing I'm going to use here, font size 2M. How much it will be now?
128.
120, 128. So the base font for this element will be 128 because it is going to check here its immediate parent font size property. And here we have 2M is nothing but 64. So 64 into 2 is 128. 128. So that you can see here for the last paragraph. We have 128. You can see here, no? 128 pixels. So now you got it, how it is working. M is working with the font size property only. It will check, and based on that only, it is evaluating internally. Is that clear, everyone? So you can use this M with width property also. If you will use 1M, how much it will be?
128.
120.
128, because right now the font size value is 128. So 1M for this particular element will be 128 only, exactly. Okay. Here. Now, if I'm going to use here width as 1M, then it will be 64. Okay, that is exactly half of this one. And here if I'll use 1M, that will be 32. So now how M is working, is that clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
It will always dependent on which property? Font
Font.
size. Yeah, so if you do not have here this font size property, where it will check 1M. Now if I'm writing, how much it will be?
Apparent.
32.
32.
32. Immediate
It will
parent.
be, yeah, so it will be 32 only. So here this one and this one both are same right now, as you can see. I hope everything is clear now how M is working, isn't it?
Yes.
Now tell me one thing. Here we have this one M. So this is the first unit which is relevant to the fonts. In case if you want here width as whatever the root font size, no, whatever the root font size you have declared, you want that much width only. Based on that only, let's say you want 5 times of whatever you have root font size, then we have one another unit that you can use, rem. Okay, so rem means root emphasized font size. So what is the root emphasized font size? 16, isn't it? And 16 into 5 is
80.
80. So here if you will see for the last one, width is, you can see here how much it is. In this box you can see how much it is.
80.
80.
Okay, so whenever you want to directly use the base font size, you have to use what? Rem. Okay, root, the name itself is saying here root emphasized font, and this one is also relevant to which property? It will be dependent on font size only, but for which element? The root element. Okay, so rem you can use for like the base font size which you have declared in the root element, you can use for that one rem. And if you want to check comparatively, like here you have like immediate child for this one, div 2, div 3 is the immediate child, and if you'll see this one is the parent, this one is grandparent. So if you want to make that one as a relevant to its parent, okay, then you can go with the m's. Okay, is that clear, everyone? What is m and rem?
Yes.
If you have any question, anyone, you can ask.
Sir, rem is always reference to the root only, that is
Yes.
HTML.
Yes, root only, always. That's why we have here R. R means root emphasized font. Okay, clear, no? So second one also we have seen, which is related to font size. Okay, now the third one, as I said here, in relative units we have relative to fonts. So first one is M, second one is rem. Now I'm going to show you here the third one. Okay, this is para. Okay, fine. I'm going to save this one. So on page, if you can see here, we have one paragraph. One second. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is the third value we can use here, the third unit in font relative unit. I'm going to target here paragraph. Okay. So here we have paragraph. I'm targeting that paragraph. Are you guys able to hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so background color here we have gold, and width I'm going to apply it as like 1 CH. CH is nothing but character. Now I'm going to show you one thing here. We'll zoom this one. So one character, it is going to take one character width. So this is T. Are you able to see? It is taking the 100% width of this T or not? No. Here it is till here only. Okay. Serif, you can see that corner is outside that gold color. Then if you will see here I and S, this is also not one character, no? Here we have 1.5 almost. And how about P? So for P, if you will see, it is taking the 100% that character, isn't it? So for some character it is working and for some it is not working. When I'm saying width should be one character. So one character, which character actually it is going to work with? 0. Okay. So whenever you are using this unit CH, it will be equal to, whenever you are using 1 CH, it will be equal to the width of which character? 0. 0. Okay. And again, here if you will see right now, what is the width here? 8 pixels, no? So it will vary. When you will use another font family, let's say here you have serif. Here you have serif means 8 pixels. If you are going to use sans serif, how much it is now? Because now we have like a different style for this 0 and width got increased now. So how much it is? 8.897. Instead of this, if you will use let's say cursive. Again, if you will see here, what is the width now of this 0? 9.766. Instead of this cursive, if you will use fantasy, again you have sorry, here the different font family style. The 0 is also getting changed, based on that font. So accordingly, you can see the width is getting changed. So based on these, later you can say, okay, we have here this number 0, whatever the width of the 0 will be there, no? So that is equivalent to 1 CH, one character. Is that clear, everyone? CH will work as per the width of which number? 0. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So another unit, and this is also related to font family. It will vary based on the different fonts. You can see here, it is getting changed. Now, second thing here we have, I'm going to copy this one. That is last unit in font relative units, that is EX. So how about this one? So I'm not going to use here width. I'm going to use here height, 1x. So how it is working? It will be equal to, okay, the height of a small x height of small x. So here we have 1x, so it is taking half width of this one that you can see. If I'll take it as 2x, it will take up to here, see the x, height of x, twice of x height. So if you are saying 1x means height of a small x, whatever font family you are using, as per that only it is going to change here. So right now you can see height is 14.313. Now if I'll use fantasy, now height is how much? 20.731. If you will use cursive instead of this, again it is going to change here. See, 17.262. So when the font family, if you are changing here, based on that, x is also getting changed. So based on that, a small x, not capital one, a small x height, it is getting changed. So 1x is nothing but height of a small x, simply you can say. Is that clear? Any question? Are you guys able to hear me or not?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, fine.
thank you.
Now the second one here we have, after this, we have seen which one? Relative to fonts. Another one is relative to viewports. So what is viewport?
Display area.
Yeah, display area. Here we have this one. As you can see, this one is the display area. Fine. So what I'm going to do is now, excuse me, we'll take one div, simple. Going to take here div, background color, same, gold, width, let's say 200 pixels, height also 200 pixels. Okay. Excuse me, here. Okay. Now it is 100%. Here we have extra margin. So that also I'm going to remove, that is from browser. So I will use here universal selector and will reset each and every margin wherever we have margin to 0. Okay. So what is the width of this div? You can see 200 pixels, height also 200 pixels. So which unit I'm using here?
Pixels.
Pixel.
And if I'll ask you like what type of unit it is? This is distance unit.
Distance.
And in distance it is absolute.
Absolute.
Okay. Yeah. So now we are going to see here the viewport unit. So simply if I'm going to write one VW. So do you know what is the meaning of VW? VW is nothing but viewport width. So whatever width here we have, no, we are able to see here the display area. So it is going to take 1% of that viewport, 1%. If I'll mention here 100, how much it will take?
100%.
100% of what?
100% of viewport.
Viewport height or width?
Width.
Width. So now if I'll save, see, it is occupying the 100% width. Even though if you'll go in desktop mode or in tablet mode, I'm going to show you that. Okay. In mobile, 100%. If you are changing the orientation, it is taking 100%. If you are in any device. Let's say iPhone 4, 100%. In iPad, it is taking 100%, whatever orientation it is. Okay, fine. Now, if I'll change it to 10, what will happen?
10% of the viewport width.
Viewport width. Yes. So it is taking 10%. Now see, if I'm resizing this one, so accordingly, see, that is also getting reduced. Automatically, it is taking no 10% viewport width. See, now it is getting increased with 10% it is taking. So this one is also relative unit, but relative to what? Viewport. Okay. So this is the first one that you can use here. Let's say now if I'm going to write here 20 viewport width. So what will be the height now?
20% of viewport.
Viewport width, not height. Viewport width. So here, whatever the viewport area here we have, it is taking 20% of it. Okay. So you can use these units. It is not like that if we have viewport width, so we will use with the width property only. No, this is a unit. Okay, length unit, distance unit, that is. So you can use either with the width or height. Even for font size also you can use. Okay, that is also possible. So here you can use viewport width. Okay, so VW is viewport width. So 10 is nothing but percent of the viewport width. Now another one here we have, that is viewport height. Excuse me. So what is viewport height now?
Height of the viewport.
Height of the viewport, and 20
20%.
means
20%.
20%. 20%. So it is taking 20% viewport height. I'm going to show you now. We'll take responsive. See. So width, how much? 10%. I'm going to take it as 20% viewport width, 20% viewport height. Okay, we'll save this one. Now here we can see. Now, if I'm changing the viewport width, see. So it is taking 20% viewport width at 20% viewport height. See, 20% of this viewport height now. Are you able to see now how it is getting changed now accordingly?
Yes.
Okay. So for that purpose, we can use what? Viewport width or viewport height. These two units are clear now, how it is working?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Now we do have two more units in viewport, okay, that we are going to see now. So here we have viewport width. VW is viewport width. So now I'm going to use Vmin. Do you know what is Vmin? Anyone?
Minimum
Minimum of what?
viewport.
So how actually it will work? See.
Means
Yeah, go ahead.
we are saying the div should be 20 of the viewport minimum size.
Viewport minimum size, but how it will check what will be
Not
the value
sure.
now?
Not
Okay,
sure.
see, the name itself is saying viewport minimum. So which one is right now less, height or width? You can
Width.
see here we have
Width.
width is 483, no? Height is 863. So which one is lesser?
Width.
So it is going to take how much? 20% of
Percent of width.
width, because this one is less right now. Now, which one is less?
Height.
So it is going to take 20% of its viewport height. So it will check viewport width and height. The one which is minimum, it is going to take that value. Accordingly, it will adjust. Is that clear?
Yes.
So now if you know this one, so another one is like just opposite of this. Vmax here we have. So what will happen now for Vmax?
Maximum.
Viewport of
Yeah,
the
yes.
either.
The
which
one
is
which
more
will
than
be maximum, it is going to take the 20% of that. So right now, which one is maximum? Width. So it is taking 20% of its width, height as well as width. See, now which one is minimum?
width
Width and maximum is height. So it is taking 20%
% of height.
height. Is that clear now? So these are the 4 units. Okay, which is relative to what? Viewports.
Font viewport.
Do you have any question in this one? Anyone?
So font size, can you just tell
Yeah,
me? Like,
yeah.
You're saying,
I will.
yeah.
Yes, I will show you that. Let's say here we have not here in div only. I'm going to put right now text.
Sir, font size with reference to viewport, like,
Yes, yes.
okay.
This is a div. Okay. So here only I'm going to take one div. Let's say I'm going to take your font size as 10 V port width. Okay. It is working or not? It is working, no? So it is just checking here what is the viewport width. See now. Based on this viewport width, it is getting decrease. It is calculating. Okay. That you can see 10% of viewport width. So that I can prove you now. What is the font size? 10 VW. So in computed value, if you will see, what is the font size? 78.2 pixels. So 78.2 pixels, you can see here it is. Again, it will compute. How much it is? 62.6 pixels. So just it is taking that value, means 10% of its viewport, and just applying on it. Okay. Still not. Tell me.
Yes, this we have to use as per the response when it is needed for a responsive
Yes, yes.
window, then we have to apply this
Yes. So what is the width right now?
property. Width 600,
So 10% of its viewport, how much it will be?
60.
So let me check here what is the value for the font size. How much it is?
60.
Clear? Is that clear now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So you can use these units with the font height, width. Okay.
For all the HTML elements.
Yeah, where you can apply height and width, if it is possible, you can. For inline elements, width you cannot apply. That we will see in box model. Okay. Now in relative units, okay, we have the last one. We have seen the font relative units, viewport relative units. Now we have percentage. Okay. So again, we'll take a simple div. Okay, here we have one div. We'll target that div. We'll apply here BGC, background color gold. So if I'll save this one, what will happen? In browser, what will happen? Anyone can tell me?
No.
Sorry,
No change, like only the plain.
why? We have applied here, no background color. It will not work because we have not mentioned height and width. So you won't be able to see. Now I'm going to apply here width as 50%. Now
50% of what? Like
Percent of
by default, it will consider viewport only.
let's say here we have 100 pixels. Now
Okay.
100 pixels
Then
background will be width.
it will work.
yeah, it will display gold color.
it will display.
Yes.
Yes.
So can you please tell me what is the height right now of this div? Anyone?
Respect to width only, it will be.
Height by default will be auto. We will see that one. So
Okay.
right now we do not have any content in it, and I have not mentioned height also. So you won't be able to see again that div. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to mention here height also as 100 pixels. Now you will be able to see that div. Here we have. Okay. Fine. So the last one here we have the last one is relative to parent, and these units will be in, means this unit is percentage. Okay. So if I'm going to mention here simply 100%, okay, 100% width and 100% height. So if I'll save this one, what will happen?
100% of the parent.
100% of its parent, and for this div, parent is body.
Body.
So what will be the output?
Complete body will be
Complete.
background.
So right now, what is the width and height of body?
Complete
We don't know.
HTML.
No, we don't know right now what exactly it is. Okay, because we do not have any content except this one. So if I'll save this one, you won't be able to see anything here. Okay. So you have to mention first its parent width and height, no? Okay. So now it's parent width and height I have to mention. So I'm going to save here, means set here width 100% for which element? Body.
Boy.
Height also 100%. Now if I'll save, what will happen?
Full body.
Still it will not come. Okay. Now what is the parent of this element? Body.
HTML.
HTML. So you have to write here width 100%. If I'll save, what will happen now? You won't be able to see anything because here we have width, but not height. Now I'm going to apply here height 100%. So now it will work, as you can see. So it will check 100% of its parent. So 100% here, again for this one, it will check 100% of its parent. So this is the root element. So when you are saying HTML should occupy 100% width and 100% height, so that is nothing but again viewport only. Okay, so instead of this, if you have here viewport height or viewport, you can say width, and for this one you have viewport height, and I'm going to comment this one. What will be the output now?
100% of
Yeah,
the
it will
viewport
be
width
100%.
and height.
Same,
It will
as
be,
you can
yeah.
see here, same, no? So here we have declared clearly like width is 100 viewport unit and height is 100 viewport height, isn't it? So that's why it is working. So percentage will always work based on its parent value.
Parent.
Okay, is that clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the last relative unit that we have. Okay, do you have any question in this? No? So we are done with the distance units. Okay. Are you guys are able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So quantities units here we have now. This is the second type. Okay. Okay. Here we have quantities. So have you ever heard of this one, like quantities units, or you have used in real time, any one of you? So in quantities units, first see, as we have in distance unit, absolute and relative. Okay, in relative we have relative to fonts, relative to viewports, relative to its parent, means percentage unit we have seen. So likewise here in quantities units also we have three different types. So the first one is angle unit, second one is duration, and third one is frequency. So frequency is not supported right now in any browser, so I won't be able to show you here like how it works, but in future it is going to work. So for this session I'm going to explain you about just angle unit and duration unit. So the first one here I will explain you about angle units. Okay, fine. So we'll take here, we have one div, fine. Okay, we'll write again, no problem. Div background color gold, width let's say 100 pixels, height 100 pixels. We have here this div, display flex, whatever properties right now I'm using, no, we will learn about this one, but just I'm going to explain you about here angle unit. So that's why I'm just decorating it. So it is not in center. Okay. So height I can mention here 100 viewport height. Okay, so now this one is in center, this div. Fine. Okay. We have one property called transform. Transform here we have, and I'm going to rotate. So whenever we are talking about rotation, we have to rotate on any angle, no? Isn't it? So here I'm going to rotate this one, let's say on 45 degree. So 45 I have mentioned. If I'll save, it will not work because I have to mention here what? Unit.
Degree.
So DEG is nothing but degree. So see here, we have rotated this one, no? On 45 degree. Okay. So in angle unit, we have the first unit that we can use for rotation. Okay. That is degree. Okay. Second one here we have gradients. So simply you can write grad. 45 grade. So the complete circle is how much in degrees I'm asking?
360.
360. So 360 degrees is equal to 400 gradients. Okay. 400 gradients. So 45 means how much it is? If we'll calculate this one, simply see, if I'm saying 100 gradients, so how much it will be? 90 degree, no? Because 360 degree is equal to 400 gradients. I will show you that, means you can calculate based on that, like what is the exact value. So generally we work with either degree, and we have another unit also that I will show you. So 100 gradient is nothing but again 90 degree. So right now you are not able to see because we do not have different borders. So that I can show you here. Border. Okay, let it be right now. So here we have gradient. Second that we can use. Third one here we have, that is radian. Okay, this one also we can use. And the last one we have, that is turn. So if I'm writing one turn means 360 degree, one rotation, complete rotation, one turn. Okay, so these are the 4 units that we can use for angle. Okay, rotation. So now I'm going to show you here, like if you are writing 360 degree, okay, that is equal to 400 gradients. Okay, and 400 gradients is equal to 6.28 radians. Okay, and that is equal to 1 turn. Okay, so now you can calculate how it will work. It is better that you can use here these things in degrees only. Okay, but these are the 4 supported units for Yes, sorry, again I got got dropped off. So do you have any question till here? Anyone? No. Okay, fine. So in angle units, we can use these 4 units: degree, gradient, radian, and turn. Okay. Alok, that is gradient. I'm not sure what exactly it is. I'm not good in maths. So you can check that one. Okay. Yeah, so here
So by using this option, we can turn images also, right?
you can turn. Okay. Yeah, we will see. Don't worry about that. Like we have transformation module already. So there I will show you like how to create 2D and 3D objects also. You might have seen on my CodePen projects. I have created many actually. Okay, fine. So after this one thing, like these values you can use either in negative or positive. So positive means clockwise and negative means anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay. So we will see that one, like how it will work with rotate function. That is a different topic here. But in angle units, we have degree, gradient, radian, and turn. Fine. Now we have another part here, second one, that is
Duration.
duration. So when we talk about duration is nothing but time. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is sorry. So we have seen this one, no? What is this? Hover is what?
Mouse hover.
Hover is a selector. We have learned about that, no?
Yes.
What is that?
Pseudo class.
Yeah, pseudo class selector. Exactly. So what I'm going to do is I will write here, let's say I need to rotate this one on 360 degree when I will hover this. See, div, hover, transform, rotate 360 degree.
Sir, voice is low, sir.
Sorry, now it's
Yeah, good.
okay. So div hover. One second. Background color red. Okay, this one is working fine. Transform, rotate. Okay, I think that is happening. Okay, that is happening, but we are not able to see. So for that one here, we have transition property. For transform, 2 seconds. See, so as you can see here, we have transition, means that was happening immediately. That's why we were not able to see. So instead of 360, what I'm going to do, I'm going to rotate this one 45 only. Okay, we'll remove this one also. So if you'll see here, see, immediately it is getting changed. Okay, rotating, no, on over. So if you want to rotate that one like smoothly over a duration of like time, then we have to use time unit or duration unit. So as you can see, I have applied here in transition, like on transform property, means we are rotating this one, no, on transform property, it should rotate 45 degree in how many seconds? 2 seconds. So when I will save this one, see, in 2 seconds it will rotate. Now I'm going to mention here it as rotate 360 in 2 seconds. Okay, that you can see. So this is the first duration unit that you can use either in seconds, or you can go with the like 2000 milliseconds. So 1 second is nothing but 1000 milliseconds, isn't it?
Yes.
So 2000 milliseconds, the same thing you can use here. So these are the 2 units that you can use for duration. Okay, as you can see here how it is working. So this is not related to the transform and transition. We have a separate module for that, but just I wanted to show you here. That's why I have used here like milliseconds and seconds, these 2 duration units here. So we are done with the units. Now we have just one thing which I'm going to explain you, will take just 5 minutes. That is functional notation. Okay. So this one is clear, no, everyone? Like here we have just 2 duration units, that is second and millisecond. We will use later when we will learn about the transition and transform and keyframes then. Okay.
Sir, may I know first time why doesn't 360 degree doesn't work?
That was working, no, that's what I said, no, it was working, but we were not able to see that. If you'll see here, it is working, but immediately it is rotating. So that's why we are not able to see here. So instead of this 360 degree, if I'll give you a 45 degree, no, okay, so then you will see here immediately how immediately it is getting changed. Okay.
Sir, in 360 degrees with less seconds, like 2 seconds, it will
Yes.
be faster. So the time we can give less than like in milliseconds,
Yeah.
0.1 second. So we can
Yes.
able to
Yes.
see that.
Yes, you will be. You will be. Let's say here I'm going to give it as 360 degree, no? Okay. And if I'm going to put it as, let's say 0.1 means 100 milliseconds. So see here how it is in 100 milliseconds, how fast it is. You can imagine now in 50 milliseconds how it will be. This is half second,
Yes.
second, sorry, 0.5. See, see 0.01. Are you able to see that? No. So you have to give at least 100 milliseconds or 50 milliseconds so you can see. See, 0.1 means 100 milliseconds. Then we are able to see. You got it? No, why we are not able to see there? Because the time is not mentioned. If you will give 0 second, you won't be able to see that rotation. Got it?
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So now we have Yes.
So actually, that hover we have written this for hovering effect, but the transition is declared inside div. Transform is declared inside div colon hover. Can't it be in hover?
It can be, but what will happen, you know, see, I'm going to show you right now. When when I'll put cursor on it, it is rotating smoothly, and when I will remove it, then also it is rotating smoothly. But what will happen if you will keep this one just inside hover? So once if you will hover, it will smoothly rotate, and see, it is rotating smoothly, no? But if you will remove the cursor, are you able to see that effect?
No.
Immediately that is happening. So that's why in actual element you have to put that transition. So we'll see that one in transition,
Okay.
how it will work, okay, in
Sir,
real time.
one more, sorry. This time duration is regarding like only in that time duration it will rotate. That's what we
Yes,
are. Means
yes,
only for 1 second we are rotating it. Like we
yes,
are giving specifying the timing
yes.
for rotation.
It will take complete 1 second to rotate that 360 degree.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. So let's say here we have this div. Okay. And what I'm going to do is we'll target this div. And this is a functional notation. Okay. So last topic for today. So here we have width 100 pixels. Fine. Height 100 pixels. Okay, fine. Here we have this one. I'm going to remove this one also for now. No style. So what I'm going to do is I just wanted to calculate whatever the viewport width is there. Okay. Whatever the viewport is there. So let's say 100% viewport width, no? So it should be just less than, means 100 pixels. Okay. So whatever the viewport is there, it should be less than that. Means how much? 100 pixels. So it is going to calculate. So for that calculation, we have here one functional notation that we can use, calc, means calculate, and the width will be accordingly. See, it is working, no? It is just calculating 100% viewport and how much it is subtracting from there? 100 pixels, and width is still there. Now I'm going to make this one as like 500 pixels. Are you getting my point? How it is working, this calc function? So it is taking 100% viewport width, and it is subtracting how much? 500 pixels from that viewport width, and whatever the final value is, it is assigning to that particular div width. Okay. Now what you can do is, let's say, take 10% viewport width. Okay, and add in it 500 pixels. So this much it is. If you will change the viewport, see, it is taking 10% the viewport width and it is adding how much? 500 pixels. So calculation you can do here by using this calc function. You can do addition, multiplication. Let's say here you have 100 viewport, no, 100% viewport width, and just you want how much? 33% of it. So divide it by 3. So how much it will be? 33.33. Whatever the viewport is there, accordingly it is going to adjust. It will take how much? 33.33%. Okay. Are you getting these things? How it is working right now? So
Yes, sir.
any calculation you can do here. Let's say, just example I'm giving you. Let's say here you have 10% viewport and you want just 2.57 times of it. Okay. Simply it will calculate, isn't it? If I'll give you here simply, let's say 2.5, you can say, okay, so simply I can write 25%, isn't it, of viewport. So that's why I have given you here, it's a 6.5. Then if you want to calculate like this, if you have any expression and based on that you want to calculate and want to apply over there like width, here we have this scenario. You can calculate and evaluate these things. Let's say you have margin. Okay, margin 10 pixels right side and left side 10 pixels. So you have to just write like this. Take 100% viewport. I'll show you here. Margin guys, just 2 minutes I will take. Okay, it's already 11. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, so here if are you able to see my screen now?
Yes.
So here we have margin top 20 pixels, right 20 pixels, bottom 20 pixels, left 20 pixels. So it is going outside of this viewport that you can see. It is going outside, no? So what I'm going to do, so left side, how much it is? 20 pixels, and right side, how much? 20 pixels. So I want the width as like it should take the 100% viewport width, but how much we have to subtract from it? The left margin as well as right margin. How much it is? 40 pixels. So now
40
you
pixels.
are able to see here that the total width accordingly it is taking, no? Isn't it? So whatever the viewport, right? So if you have to do any calculation like this, you can use this calc function, and always remember one thing, like you have to give at least one space between that operator. Here it is working, no? So this is, one second, how it is working. We have to give actually here one space. It should not work. I think in validator it will give you error. So whenever you have to two different operands, in between you have any operator, so just put one space, at least one space before this operator and after this operator. Is that clear, everyone, how calc function will work?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So we are done with the values and units section. Tomorrow we'll start with the box model. Okay, if you have any question you can ask, otherwise we'll connect tomorrow again. Okay. Good night, everyone. Bye.